When it comes to swearing, for most of my life, I wasn't really that big of a fan of it. I remember that when I was still really young, probably around 7 to 9 years old level, I think, I would used to watch all these different diverse YouTubers from other countries who weren't speaking my mother language, but I still understood English, even at that time, whilst I was so young. And so, of course, I ran into swear words, and oh boy, there were a lot of them. And I mean, a fuck ton. Especially when I watched someone like PewDiePie, for example, or Jacksepticeye, or Markiplier when they were playing Five Nights at Freddy's. Dude, it was like they were trying to break the world record or something. And at that time, I didn't understand them. I was like, why are you swearing so much? Is it really that big of a deal? Or do you say it just to sound cool? I was very confused by it. But eventually, as I slowly but surely grew up, and I became a teenager, so when I turned around 13 years old, I think, I started to use swear words more subconsciously. It just came in naturally. Like whenever I felt angry, like when I was playing Minecraft, for example, and I lost a Skywars game, I would punch the table and I sometimes even yelled out the swear word, and then my mom would tell me to shut up. But even if I failed a test, for example, and when the teacher would give it to me, I would just subconsciously say a swear word inside of my head. Like, yeah, it is natural, of course, to just, release the pressure after you're disappointed. However, guess what? Every time that I swore, like when I said a swear word, I just felt so much more lighter, so much more at inner peace. Because whenever I swore, like I put so much energy, all of this negative energy that was forming inside of me, into this one really naughty word, and I just released it to the outside world with all of the force that was put upon me by the negative experience. I just felt more relaxed. And so, in the end, I told myself that, yeah, it was okay to swear. And this was most likely the reason why those foreign YouTubers were swearing so much. Well, there were two times when they were swearing. The first time when they were genuinely angry, and the second time when they just wanted to, make the video more entertaining and stuff like that. And so, apart from, releasing all of the negative energy, I saw also a different side of using negative words to my advantage. You see, whenever I was at a family gathering, I always noticed that almost everyone, every single one of my closest family members, were swearing a lot in the living room when they were all meeting up. And I also have this one particular uncle. I won't say his name, but he has a really vast amounts of knowledge when it comes to just, general information. And so he's really deep into politics, and not just politics in like, the government level, but of course, like the village level. Like, he knows almost everyone in our local area. And plus, he also works as an entrepreneur. So that even adds up to his contact list. And so, when you work with so many of these different people, then of course you get so much knowledge just for free, just because you work for them. And so, whenever we were at the family gatherings, and plus also, this uncle of mine, he's very talkative. So that also adds to the fact that he knows a lot of knowledge. Whenever we were at the family gatherings, I would just listen to him talk on and on and on. And not in a way like, he was annoying, he was trying to captivate the attention on him because he never got it from his parents. No, the exact opposite of that. He was talking with straight points, he was going right to the point. The way he constructed his sentences was just immaculate. And boy, his deliveries, they were just utter perfection. And every time he finished talking about the politics and stuff like that, I can't help but just clap for him. And the reason why his speeches had such a huge impact on me were because of he used the swear words so effectively that he captivated my attention in an instant. And so from him, I also learned how to use swear words to my advantage. You know, you may see me as this role model on this YouTube channel. Like, I'm the self improvement guy, you get advice from me. I'm, the guy who tells you to get the fuck up out of your bed at 5 a.m. to do push ups. But in reality, I'm actually really chill. And I only use swear words because I only want the best for you. And so normally, I don't really swear that much in like normal communication. I only swear when it's truly necessary. I'm the type of guy who only swears once in a while when it is really appropriate. Or, for example, when I'm ranting on something or I'm just explaining something. I'm not the type of guy who would just tell you, oh, go fuck yourself, just because I'm drunk or something like that. No, no, no. And so that's why, whenever I explain, like, for example, why the 99% of people are holding us back, why the government won't take care of us in the future. And so that's why we have to take care of each other. That's why I get so passionate about those types of topics because they truly have an impact on me. And I really want you to understand it. And so that's what swear words help me a lot with. They make me resonate with you even harder. You quite literally fuck with me on a deeper level. And of course, not the dirty way, but you just get along with me so much harder. And so then you're guaranteed to come back because then you like me as a person. And that's exactly what effective usage of swear words does for you. It makes you just more respectable. It makes your deliveries deliver way harder than they would originally have been without the swear words. They just make you so much more authority like. But back to the story. This was around the same time when I was like 13 years old, I think. And so at that time, I was swearing a fuck ton, like probably 10 times more than I do now. Well, that was also because I used to watch anime all the time. I still do, not gonna lie, but I try to limit it. But besides that, I also raged at video games and other bullshit like this. And so, of course, when I cut out these useless distractions that were not giving me anything, but just the false sense of reality, and then when I would lose that competitive match in CSGO, my entire world would just crumble, and I didn't want this feeling anymore. So I completely cut out video games out of my life. And so, I instead started balancing how many times I used to swear. Like, of course, whenever you see me in like a normal conversation, I of course swear probably like few times. But in my head, I swear a lot. Like I genuinely need to control my dark side from time to time. Like all of us have to do, of course. But basically, of course, just the fact that I get all of these temptations to say the swear words don't actually mean that I would like to take the opportunity every single time when they come up inside of my mind. Of course not. I use my authentic voice, my authentic delivery, my own way of speaking, and I channel the swear words from it. What I've basically done was that I found the exact way of how I'm comfortable talking. I found the exact ratio of how I'm comfortable, using normal words and the swear words. It is basically that I probably say like 20 normal words and then it is followed, like I allow myself to say a negative word. So, like, of course, when I'm in a normal conversation, I of course don't use swear words that often. But when I'm ranting about something, like I'm genuinely angry about how the big corporations annihilate our dopamine receptors with their bullshit content. And I basically talk like Eminem, for example, and I say like 20 words per like 5 seconds, then of course you will hear me swear a lot. And so, the way that you find this ratio is to just find the authentic version of yourself. Just experiment with it. I recommend that you grab your journal right now and you try to write stories, for example. They don't have to be realistic. You can literally write about anything. The stories, they could be literally just fake. They could never happen. All you have to do is just write about something, anything, and just notice whenever it will be appropriate for you to use the swear word or not. Just find this ratio, but of course, don't focus on it because when you focus on anything good, it becomes bad. When you over obsess about this ratio, then it will guide your entire existence, and you don't want that. Just keep it at the back of your mind, okay? And don't over obsess about it. Just basically remember the ratio like 3 times in every conversation that you take part in, for example. Now, let's go over the pros and cons of swearing more. Well, the biggest con that I can think about is that people will take you less seriously. When you have this ratio of probably like 5 words and one negative word, for example, like you just like almost every single sixth word that you say is a swear word, then of course everyone will see you as this guy who is probably constantly angry or who is just really passionate about his life, which can be really good because that would mean that if you constantly show to other people that you're really passionate about your life and that you shouldn't be fucked with, then of course no one will do that. And so way less people will actually mess with you. You can see this trait primarily in the extroverts in our world, like that uncle of mine, for example, and both of us could probably think about one of our classmates who has this trait. Like, you see him drinking out of a monster can. I'm not saying that my uncle is, and he's 5 other people walking with him, and they're all so loud that you can hear them literally like an entire street away. Yeah, those kinds of guys. But what are the pros and cons of not swearing that often? Well, naturally, people will take you more seriously, of course, because, of course, there's at least one introvert in your life. You can probably see him in class. He's sitting behind his desk. He usually goes on YouTube during the breaks and he watches, I don't know, some educational videos that he's interested in. And sometimes, when one of these extroverts, they poke him, like they make fun of him, they pick on him, you know what he does? He stands the fuck up and he tells him, "Do you have a problem? Crackhead." And the entire class is silent. And that's exactly what happens. You have this opportunity to absolutely annihilate everyone with swear words when you're basically this introvert type who doesn't swear that often. Like everybody knows him as that nice guy who wouldn't even dare to hurt a fly, for example. However, when shit hits the fan and one of these crackheads from your class picks on him, he picks back 10 fucking fold. And so, of course, people will just naturally pick on you more often. But let's be completely honest. Only those truly biggest dumbasses in the world, like the most brain dead idiots, would pick on someone like DU. And so you can expect it to happen probably like once per year, or probably even more. And so, please, make the choice based on your story that you've written and how you've noticed the ratio of how comfortable you are at swearing in normal conversations. Decide your fate. Would you like to swear more and not be fucked with? And be like this loud extrovert with whom there's a lot of fun, like women want to be with him, guys like to be like him? Or would you rather want to be that introvert who swears way little, but he's still a nice guy in the deep core of his heart? But whenever shit hits the fan, he literally protects himself like there's no tomorrow. But remember, you have the choice of staying right in the middle, because that's where I'm in, to be honest. I'm not the most extroverted type, and I'm not the most introverted type. I was just telling you about the two polar ends of the chart. If you want to practice your speech and the amount of times that you swear with like minded men who share the same values as you, who share the same likes and dislikes, who share the same goals and becoming the best version of themselves every single day, who will literally be your healthy competition, but at the same time, they will be like your blood bonded brothers with whom you can open up with your most embarrassing secrets, even, then you can join our Discord clan in the description. Because if you're watching videos like these, then I know that you have way more potential than you think you have. I know that you'll find your place in there, so please join us on the path to greatness and leave the 99% of people behind who are constantly holding you back from harvesting your true potential. But other than that, you can like the video, you can subscribe if you like, join the email list in the description and get yourself a free ebook about mindfulness. Comment on which part of the video you liked the most and which part of the video you will implement into your daily life. Don't forget to join the clan, you're still invited, and become part of the family. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching this video, and remember, no one is better at being you